just helping someone on the river. Arthur threatened to jump in there, so I thought I'd better give him a hand.
Etc, etc.
Phew, what a scorcher. So yeah, we found it. We finally found the river after about 2 days of looking now. Yeah, we're on the riverway between Guildford and Godalming. When I say we, I mean of course myself and the big man. It's a particularly warm day today. Well, for the UK it is anyway. It is, I think it's reached about 22 degrees, which is pretty good for this country in April. Arthur likes a bit of water when it gets hot. Actually, it gets very, very lethargic in the heat and sort of tends to shun the idea of physical exertion, which is fair enough. But you know, it's 6:30 now, so Arthur about to mess up someone's picnic. Arthur, come away from that. Good lad. Very nice family, just made their way south from Send, quite near Woking. Quite a few locks to negotiate. So it's although barge holidays are very, very relaxing, they can be quite tiring, depending on how many locks you have to negotiate to get where you want to go. But yeah, certainly, as I was just saying to the guy back there, you know, it's quicker to walk. Yeah, I think the top whack on a barge is about 3 to 4 miles an hour. So yeah, you're not exactly screaming along. Yeah, it is a very nice way to spend a week or so though. No more than that really. Literally start getting cabin fever. A, from spending too much time with your family in a confined space, and B, well, you don't get seasick, but you know, it does feel a bit unusual walking on a floating platform every. It's quite busy on the river. We found this little offshoot quite a long time ago where it's not so busy and you don't get many people, and it's a good place to spot wildlife. So yeah, we're just going to go down here. Although Arthur's not exactly flavour of the month down here at the moment. It was only yesterday we were doing a run, and Arthur, he wasn't trying to attack these Egyptian geese, but he did get very close to them because he wanted to have a little drink from the river, and they went absolutely ballistic. And I think Egyptian geese are actually the most vicious of them all, and they were in his face. But yeah, he actually didn't bat an eyelid. It was quite remarkable. Yeah, I've got a lot more respect for Arthur after that incident. Yeah, just a hard dude. there are the Egyptian geese in question. I think Arthur's just gonna, yeah, they are pretty vocal. In my experience of geese, they are the most vocal of all the geese, and now I know why. They've got chicks with them. Arthur, come here. Oh, yeah, that is absolutely fair enough then. Wow. They've got, there's 5 chicks, 5 Egyptian geese chicks. Lovely. The actual parents don't look like they've weathered the winter too well. The colouring has faded quite remarkably, actually. Yeah, they're normally a lot more, their colours are a lot more vibrant usually. As usual, the kids are running them through the ringer. Back in Canada goose territory. Hopefully, upon seeing Arthur, they'll Arthur, stop here. Let's just sort of leave them alone for a while and let them get on with their lives for a bit. And get back in the water. You can only imagine it's less tiring for them to be out of the water than in. No idea, but as soon as we left, they got out of the water. Right, we're going to slowly make our way back around there. The last thing we need is Arthur to end the existence of one of those chicks. Yeah, they're getting ever more vocal now, which is fair enough. It's alright, we are walking back, little chicks. Yeah, sorry about that. Now over there, I'm not sure if you can make him out, but there's a Canada goose watching them with intent, and apparently there's a couple of more hens just down there. Apparently that Canada goose, he's trouble. He keeps bullying them apparently, but I would have thought that those two could quite easily dispatch him or her. Don't know. I'm not sure what the hierarchy, the goose hierarchy is. Normally they all seem to live in pretty, you know, they seem to live quite well together. Yeah, Egyptian grey lag, Canada. It's not always, if you want to see wildlife, you know, it'd probably pay not to bring Arthur with me actually, but you know, Arthur's the sort of reason that I've started doing very regular walks in the first place. I can't leave the poor bugger at home. You know, he likes it too much as well. Right, we're coming back up So we're just leaving this tributary now. It gets quite rough down here actually. Just where the weir feeds this tributary. Yeah, quite a current going on. No doubt Arthur would be able to handle it if he fell in, which he looks like he's about to do now. It's probably only about 6 foot deep in the middle as well. Coos of contentment from the doves or the pigeons. Just walking under a railway line at the moment that leads ultimately, that will get to, if we are looking east, I think it's furthest, I think it terminates in Gatwick Airport, and west, I think is the furthest it goes is Reading. So yeah, the Gatwick to Reading. Been on it many times on the way back from Gatwick, where I've alighted at Guildford. You know, back to reality. But, you know, reality isn't so bad when you got, you know, this kind of fare to walk down. I mean, it's a spectacular waterway, that's for sure. I think actually there's just a train coming now, so you see it across the bridge. Here he goes, en route to Reading via Reigate, Redhill, Dorking West, Dorking, Deepdean, Chilworth, Shalford, Guildford, Ash, Vale. My mind goes blank after that. There's only a couple of stops after Ash Vale to Reading. Yeah. Bridge just over there takes you, if you follow the bridge to the left, it takes you into Shalford. To the right, you're going to go to Godalming, Guildford, that direction. But you could actually get to Guildford from the left as well. But ultimately it gets you very quickly to Shalford. Shalford being very much a village with not a lot in it, but it's very nice. It's got the Snooty Fox Cafe, a couple of pubs, Thai restaurant, and a shop and a church, you know, all the usual suspects. There's Johnny. Fortunately, they've battened down the hatches so he can't get in there. Although he would if he could. It's just absolutely no manners whatsoever. Come away. It's just food. Right, up there is the Downs link. So that runs from here, Guildford, all the way down to Shoreham. So the Downs link there, that used to be a train line that ran through from Guildford all the way to Shoreham via Bramley, Wonersh, Cranley, Baynards, West Grinstead, Slinfold, Southwater. Getting bored yet? And yeah, many others. So basically, if you can see down there, straight line. We are now sort of in Guildfordish. So if you continue along this path, pretty much in a straight line, because obviously it was a train line, and it's yeah, in 36 miles you'll be at the sea, and it's more or less flat all the way down. I think there's about 700 feet of total elevation gain all the way down there, because I have done it before several times on the bike. There's also a Downslink Ultra Marathon, which I was going to do, but I think it might be a little bit boring because it is very much concealed under canopy cover, the whole link. And there's not I mean, there are some nice views the further south you get, but for the first 20 miles or so, no, it's not the most interesting. It would be a fast ultra marathon to do, you know, if you want to get a good time. But yeah, as far as, like, you know, a satisfying day out, you know, I mean, because ultra marathons, they're essentially just sort of very long. I don't know. You obviously, there's a degree of, well, for me, there's a degree of running. You know, it's mainly jogging. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that can, you know, run the whole thing. You know, they can run 100 miles, God knows how. But yeah, it's essentially just a day out. And yeah, much as I like the Downs link, it's more suited to a bicycle, I reckon. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, bye Downs link. See you again soon. I've been using it a lot recently. Actually, it's on my bike. It's a very good place to sort of train. Well, it's a good place to, because there's obviously no cars on it, there's no people on it, it's straight, flat, so you can just hack it, which is really good for yeah, training and various other things, you know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, quite a few cyclists on the river, although not many. I think people cycle down here once, then don't do it again because there's too many walkers, and it's very bumpy. Arthur, here! Come on! Very creative. All these fashioned, I don't know what they are, fungi or something, out of an old tree stump. Glad they've lasted as long as they have, mind you. You know, the youths of Godalming, they don't really walk down the river. They stay in the park, drink the vodka and swear. But you know, that's the joy of being a teenager. You get to drink vodka and swear, and it's bloody good fun while you're doing it. My watch just beeped at me again, so I've got 5 miles on the clock. Another 1.5 to go probably, which is a pretty good walk. Very reasonable, not to be sniffed at, 6.5 miles or so. Particularly because, you know, when you run it, it's probably about an hour, you know, there or thereabouts. But walking it is, obviously it's not as physically exerting, but spending a hell of a lot of time on your feet. And at the moment, I'm only wearing wellies. Yeah, I need to upgrade my footwear, but no, these are alright actually. The wellies cost me quite a lot of money. I think they're about 70 odd quid or something, so they're lined with I don't know, some comfortable material. Actually, probably the comfiest pair of, you know, comfiest footwear I've got, including, you know, £130 pairs of trail running shoes. So yeah, I might try running in these next time. Stay tuned to hear how running in wellies goes. It might be a little bit cumbersome, but I'm a little bit cumbersome too. Yeah, running uphill, it's not a pretty sight. Running downhill, not a pretty sight. Running on flat, not pretty. But, you know, got to do something to pass the time, haven't you? Physical exertion is the way forward for me. Be it walking, running, cycling, rowing, hopping, jumping. I would say swimming, but actually I'm quite tempted to jump in that. Probably, you know, reasonably clean. Probably as clean as the sea. A bit more weed in there. A few more pike. There are quite a few pike in here actually. Yeah, a lot of pike in the riverway. Actually bask in the sun when it's sunny, which isn't very often, but I have seen it. Got a plethora of fish species in here. Roach, tench, perch, pike, bream. I'm just making these up now actually, but before bream it was all spot on. But apparently now there's quite a few cormorants around here, and they are fishermen deluxe. They really are. It's yeah, and apparently they are emptying, well, the fishing pond lake just up the way here. You know, the fishermen are always lamenting the sight of cormorants. They just sit there and gobble up all the big fish, you know, carp and whatnot. So yeah, they're another one of, well, I think they've been in the country a long time, but yeah, they are a strange looking bird. They look prehistoric. They've got big beady eyes, but you'd need them because they spend a lot of time underwater. Yeah, they dive, and then they've got these huge necks that they can pretty much swallow their whatever they catch whole. Doesn't look very comfortable. They don't even constrict it first like a python. They just straight down the hatch. There's Arthur staring at some calves. Very nice. Arthur, here. Come here. Yeah. Although I have gone off cows a bit, as mentioned before. After me and Arthur keep getting charged. Well, we got charged once and chased a couple of times. Arthur, stop! Little wren in there. Alright, so we're going to sign off again. We're going to sign off now. That's been vlog number 4 on the river. We've enjoyed making it. Well, I have. Don't know about Arthur. He seems to have had a reasonable time. You know, you can never tell with that chap. But yeah, we'll see you again very soon. You just stay there then, Arthur. What a Dilbert.